Alright guys, welcome back to the WCA Pro Qualifier. We just had Colento beat Vortex 3-1, and now we're going into our next game, which is Hoej, is that correct?
Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Hoej versus SjoW, and this is gonna be a good match. These two players I kind of rate quite similar in a way. They're kind of in the same tier of player, but I think SjoW has a bit of an advantage because he has a few more consistent conquest wins under his belt, whereas Hoej is more of like a lot of his successes come from Via Game, which is a very different format to what he's playing in today. But he's been working hard. I've seen him playing some open qualifiers, so you know I'm not going to take that away from him.
Oh yeah, if we look at his lineup as well, he has Druid, Hunter and Warlock. He's been playing the same lineup now for, I believe it's a month and a half. He won the Divinity Qualifier, got I think second at ONOG, so he's been playing really solidly overall. We have SjoW again, you know, same lineup, Hunter, Warrior, Warlock, seems to be the lineup of the day here. I believe 4 players out of 8 have brought that lineup, and most have brought either a Warlock or Warrior if they have been bringing something else. But yeah, so it should be close, I feel. Like
it's a consistent line to bring, but we're going to jump straight to the bracket here, just see who's gone through. Colento through to the next part of this bracket. He's going to be either facing Hoej or SjoW, depending on the winner of there, and then that next game will decide who will qualify for Gamescom. Stan Sifka already qualified, so we'll already see him next week in Cologne. So who would you say is your favorite to win this match?
I think I'm going to give a slight edge to SjoW, I have to feel like. Because just the Druid doesn't do too well against Hunter in general. Maybe if SjoW is bringing Warlock in terms of the handlock, I feel like it's more likely going to be a midlock or I guess Zoolock. I call it midlock because I feel it's a bit slower than a Zoolock.
Oh yeah,
you could all call it Zoolock or Demon Zoo as well. It's just all interchangeable, all good. But yeah, I feel like, you know, overall we have SjoW at 17 wins, 11 losses the last 2 months. So a 61% win rate there. And we have Hoej at 4 wins and 3 losses there, so a 57% win. So Hoej hasn't been playing as much, fewer league games. You know, we have Colento, we have SjoW obviously in the HPL, for example, so he's playing many matches a week there. And also, I mean, if you look at the last few lineups from SjoW, it's been Handlock, Mid-Hunter Patron, and Midlock Face Hunter Patron, so it's been going back and forward with the Hunter and the Warlock, but the Patron always seems to stay the same here. Whereas as Hoej has been playing Druid, Hunter, Mid Paladin last time, and that was a DreamHack Summer. Now we're going to game number 1 here. We have Hunter with SjoW against Druid with Hoej, and Hoej does have the wild growth, but not a good follow-up with that. He can obviously throw away the forces of nature, but yeah, this looks to be quite even.
The win growth, as they might say.
Oh yeah.
Winning with that card, ramping up ahead. But look at SjoW's hand, you know, very fast hand he's got there. Curious of what he's thrown away. He threw away the Leper Gnome. I
like this a lot. He wants an Animal Companion and the Shredder at this point.
He has a coin, so he has the option to coin out a 2-drop on 1 and then a 2-drop on 2. So that's going to be his curve. So he probably felt the 1-drop was unnecessary to his curve plan here. So as I said, we're going to see a coin something, probably a mad scientist. Protect this haunted creeper just in case he needs to kill command on 3.
Yeah, it's just more aggressive. I feel like SjoW is not going for the 1-drop because he feels like if I go for the 1-drop, it'll just get hero powered anyway by the Druid, and maybe I'll do 3 damage with the Leper Gnome, but it's not going to be worth it in the long run. Now I feel like Haunted Creeper has to come down, especially with the 2nd kill command, but other than that, I mean, SjoW's last 3 cards drawn aren't that strong.
Much like Stan Sifka in the previous games, 2 kill commands find their way into SjoW's hand, so he may have to dictate a more aggressive style of play. If you look at his hand, all of his cards dictate a super aggressive Arcane Golems, Abusives, kill commands. Here we look at Hoej's got a swipe that's not too bad if he can pop that Haunted Creeper. What do you like from Hoej here? It looks a little bit awkward.
I actually wouldn't mind just playing the BCH and passing. And Hoej seems to agree. But yeah, oof, this is not too bad though for SjoW. The Haunted Creeper plays into this beautifully.
He has another beast come down on the field here, so he has 2 minions that Hoej will have to deal with in order to stop these kill commands coming through. It looks like he's going for the more aggressive line of play here. Probably going to abusive this Haunted Creeper, swinging for the face, and then get that trap ready. And we talked about how Freezing Trap is such a big swingy card for the Hunter. It really slows down the progression of the Druid. So he's going to pick up a low feb here, actually. So do you think an Innovate Lore is probably better? Because he threatens to send it back to his hand.
I think the idea behind the Innovate Lore is to draw a Force of Nature, but in general, I would have gone for the low feb, I think.
So he finds himself a Druid of the Claw. He can use that to maybe pop this trap, or he could put it into Haunt for a bit of defense. So he's got a few options at least.
This in general didn't pay off. I think Hoej would have been in better position by just having gone for this. I kind of wouldn't mind to see just a kill command there, honestly, though. But maybe he's just wanting to go even more aggressive. Yeah, kind of like this idea from SjoW. Yeah, I give that to him. Well played. Yeah.
Super aggressive play right there. So he is playing to the strength of his hand
here. Oh, for sure. And with this Hyper Hunter, that's what you have to do. You can't really, you know, if you have a Savannah or two and a low step and a sweater, you can play the mid hunter game. But with this sort of hand, you need to go face, and SjoW just realizes that.
Which is really what shows the strength of the hybrid list. You know, being able to switch up a game plan very easily to cater to what style of hand you have.
Now, I want to note one thing. I think that Hoej should have attacked first. If he's going for face, it'd be better to attack first in terms of the explosive trap. You should attack the abusive. It's better in terms of knowing about the snake trap and being able to go for a swipe instead of a keeper. So a small mistake there, but it's probably going to be all right.
Unfortunately, we are being riddled with the Druid bug. It's,
oh yeah.
You know, something that's had to be ironed out of the game here, but it looks like SjoW is on his way to winning this game. Unless
we should be able to switch to SjoW's point of view, though, in a second here, because of that Druid bug now. But SjoW's hand is so strong. Really looking at 2 kill commands, an Arcane Golem, it couldn't be much better. Maybe an Owl would help this one out here.
You most certainly have to play low feb here to protect yourself from the kill commands.
Think about the scenario though. Had he played low feb on turn 5 and the Ancient of Lore there on turn 7 for the heal, it would be much stronger if he had an Ancient of Lore right now. Is he just not going to have to go for Dr. Boom and then just play really aggressively from there?
So we can see, we're just going to sort out this bug very quickly. Hoej hasn't made his decision yet. The rope is going down. No attacks have been made, so this trap is still active.
Oh yeah, he's going for the hero power, looks like. I'm looking at dropping the Druid of the Claw.
So the low feb doesn't come down here and protect him from these kill commands. So if SjoW was on 8 mana, this would be good games, but he still has a bit of work to do, punching through this taunt. Low feb will probably play a lot of a bigger role next game, next turn, blocking out these kill commands, unless SjoW can put on some super aggression.
I wouldn't mind just even Juggler here. Yeah, you can get so much damage done. Possibly even, you know, finish as the Druid of the Claw with the bow. You could threaten with the Arcane Golem for the turn after, so a lot of possibilities.
For those guys just joining us, behind us the spell card is an Ancient of Lore, so that card is hidden away. It looks like the Arcane Golem's going to come out here, probably going to push for damage here. He does have another kill command lined up, so he's going to want to be taking this game in the next turn at least. He's going all in here, dropping down Hoej to 4 health.
Oh yeah, this is strong, you know, but it could have gone pretty close to it with just going for the Juggler there. It depends a bit on how it lands, but overall looking decent.
So again, this Freezing Trap has caused a lot of trouble for Hoej. He hasn't popped it yet. It's been around for a while. Okay. So we're just going to try and fix this client error. Kaldi's going to give us some play-by-play, you know.
Oh yeah, so SjoW still kind of... Hoej actually has the turn right now. He's on 9 mana. He just procced the trap with his Ancient of Lore, so he's looking to replay that for heal. Putting him back to 9 health. Or wait, he's looking at swiping down all of the board. And what's the follow-up going to be? Do the Claw Taunt. So we're going to be seeing SjoW take this game number 1 here.
So, unfortunately, we didn't get to see the end of that, but we could see from the state of the board and the state of Hoej's health that he didn't have a lot going on, and SjoW was able to take that game.
I think still, yeah, strong play from Hoej. They're going for that swipe and drew the play. He just figured, okay, he's already played a kill command, so I'm going to have to play around the second one. I think it was more likely to work, this, considering that he didn't know what SjoW's hand was. But SjoW, yeah, 1-0 up. Druid did lose. SjoW got a perfect start here. So well done to him. I feel like if I was him, I would have looked at a Patron for the next game.
Yeah, Patron would be a good thing to line up. So the Druid kind of falling short there. You were mentioned how Druid's kind of the weaker deck in the lineup, where SjoW has brought, you know, the free classes which have been quite dominant in this tournament so far. So Patron, if it is Patron, it could potentially be Control. I mean, SjoW is known for being a Control, well, a warrior god, quote unquote.
Oh, yeah.
So Control, he could surprise us with a Control deck, but with the strength of Patron in the current meta, it's very unlikely it's going to be Control, and we're going to see Patron do what Patron does, just steamroll.
It's very possible that he figures he's going to face a lot of Patrons, and Control Warrior is very good against Patron in general, so maybe that's his idea there. But overall, though, he's been playing more Patron recently. Last two Conquest lineups that he played had Patron in them, so be surprised if he goes for the Control Warrior. It's mediocre, I think, at this point. The main strength of it is it's good against, you know, Patron Warrior.
I mean, a lot of people associate him with Control because of how Control has been the go-to archetype for Warrior for a long time. It wasn't until Patron was introduced in the last adventure that Warrior really had access to another style of deck, and SjoW, like, known for being very good with that Control Warrior. But that Warrior skill has kind of transitioned, transacted over to Patron. You know, he's been playing Patron really well.
Are you telling me Pirate Warrior is not effective still?
No, I don't think so anymore. Well, I tell a lie. Mech Warrior. Life
Mech
Coach
Warrior.
did actually pilot Mech Warrior for some time and found some success. So we're going into the game here. We have Druid lined up with Hoej again, and we're going to be he's going to be taking on Warlock.
It looks even handlock, yeah. So a good matchup for Hoej here in game number 2. I actually kind of have to question SjoW's pick here in game number 2, not going for the Patron. I would like the Patron better. I feel like it does better overall, yeah.
So do you feel that Hoej actually has a good shot now? You know, having that fast Druid. Fast Druid can generally do pretty well against handlock.
Yeah, I think so. You know, considering what his hand is, I think as Hoej, he has a much better chance against the handlock than a warrior. Had he picked his own warlock, he would have been in trouble now. So yeah, handlock is strong against Patron mostly. It's mediocre in general if you don't have a Patron, so there's no Patron hand here for Hoej, so that's maybe the weak link for SjoW.
SjoW's going for the aggressive play, making that Ancient Watcher into a turn 2 Yeti. Very strong against the Druid. Druids don't have a lot of things that can contest 5 health this early on in the game. I mean, he had the Wrath in the hand. I mean, the days of turn 1 Yetis are kind of over as Shredder's kind of taken its spot. But turn 1 Shredder's a lot weaker than turn 1 Yeti because it's very vulnerable to Wrath for Fiery War Axe, cards like that. But
it's turn 1 Emperor now, yeah, that's the new thing. Right?
Turn 1 Emperor, that's crazy. So he actually decides to fight the board here, using the Shade to clear up the Owl. He doesn't want to take too much pressure from this Ancient Watcher.
But if he trades into the Shade now, it's going to be really good for SjoW. Yeah, this is strong. He's just ahead. Well played to him.
So Hoej has some choices to make here. Does he go for a Silence, or does he go for a Wrath?
That's tough.
Do you silence and just trade?
I think you start with trading at least, yeah.
And see what you get.
How it's gotta go. So I start with the trade and then look at the options. Maybe you get a Murloc, a 2-1 charge, you know?
That'd be very useful, that's true. An Unstable Ghoul wouldn't be as great, but it'd at least clear up the Twilight Drake once it's silenced.
Yeah, it wouldn't be bad.
And a Neutron, that's another option. He's something you could challenge.
I actually think that would be probably the best one. I mean, or Neutron.
Okay, so he's making this decision. He decides to go with the trade, like we were saying. He gets an Auto Barber. A 3-2 is generally not too bad, but it doesn't kind of go with the situation. And unfortunately, the Druid Bug returns. Is Hoej just trolling this here?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, like, he's known to be someone who flexes his emotes a lot in his games.
It was actually talking about that being a strategy for the tournament before.
So many possibilities.
All right. Actually, we were talking to SjoW the other day, and he said one of the strategies that he wanted to eliminate from Hoej's game was that he does use emotes a lot. He said he's going to instantly squelch him. He doesn't want to deal with that stuff. So he can focus on his game.
He respects him as a player, but doesn't respect his idea of spamming emotes to get in his opponent's head. And yeah, I mean, I have to admit, I squelch to certain players, you know, when I'm playing. Yeah. There's just, there's no real point with that. Now, looking at the Druid hand, there's going to be a Druid with a Claw, a Swipe, a Savage Roar, and a Shade of Naxxramas.
All right. So the board is pretty strong here for Hoej. He's got some stuff to challenge some of the Warlock's minions here, but the problem he's going to face is when stuff starts coming down like the Mountain Giants and the Doctor Boom, and how he's going to challenge those. Has he got a BGH available? No. So Hoej doesn't actually have a BGH available to him yet. And
he actually has nothing to play at all. SjoW here, nothing to play on his turn 6. He's looking at possibly just BGH on nothing or pass even. He plays BGH for nothing.
Just wants that 4 attack to be able to challenge something next turn.
So he's kind of turning around here and looking better and better for Hoej every turn. He has a strong swipe turn. He could go for the Emperor. He just top deck the Emperor, which is going to be an amazing counter. Now, if we look at the options though for this turn. I wouldn't mind Emperor actually.
So do you just trade in the 2/4 and the 3/2 into the Watcher? Would you take out the Chow to gain some health?
I think I'll take out the BGH because it will be a possibility to Shadow Flame that.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, Forreston seems pretty decent. You know, reduce that hand side, make that combo even deadlier.
Oh yeah,
it's reduced, and it just gives him the option of a hero power. So kind of that 15 damage lethal as well if he reduces a combo, or another Savage Roar on top of that if he draws into it. So it just kind of gives him a bit more flexibility with finishing the game off when he takes SjoW down to those low healths.
I wonder if Hoej agrees here actually. He doesn't attack, okay. My feeling is this is just too vulnerable to Shadow Flame, but alright, so there's the option of a Dr. Boom, I guess. Also the Emperor, but I think Dr. Boom is going to be stronger. He should trade just for the fear of a Shadow Flame. Probably kill the 3/2, he kills the 3/2, yeah. Well played to SjoW.
So SjoW has the most power on board right now. That combo is still sitting there ready to be fired out when he needs it. He draws the Ancient of Law, so he's got an option to dig for some more cards, but where do you go from here? That's the question. Do you want to keep developing your board? But like you said, Shadow Flame is a big swing card if SjoW draws it, so do you want to risk it?
He could possibly just go for, the combo even and put him down to, what, 3 health? I think it is.
And then he has Swipe sitting there ready to finish off the game if he needs it.
Swipe and Druid. But yeah, well, if we look at this, this is going to be 12. Yeah, it's not quite there. Yeah.
You know, Hoej was saying...
It's 19, yeah.
We were talking about how Hoej's successes have mainly come from Via Game, which is not a format that we're playing right now. We're playing the Conquest format, but Hoej was actually saying that he feels he's found his place in Conquest right now. He qualified for the Gfinity Summer Masters recently. He played in the Onog feature tournament. So he feels like he's put the work in to put him as a competitor. So yeah, to be a competitor in the Conquest format. So he's putting the work in, and hopefully this event for him will be the one that pays off.
Now, top deck Shadow Flame here for SjoW, so a lot of options in store for him. We apologize to go for it there, yeah.
We apologize for the Druid shenanigans. You know, this little card bug is a bit of a nuisance, but there's not a lot we can do until Blizzard fixes the client.
But yeah, now he is looking at dropping Ragnaros. I'm not sure about that. I kind of like Emperor Taunt myself, preferably, because there's always the option after the Emperor's been played that there's going to be a double combo coming your way.
Yeah, you need to take that into consideration. Yeah, you need to take in consideration the combo could come at any point. And once you see a Hearthstone go down as well and reduce the Druid's hand size, it makes it more threatening because of an extra Savage Roar coming in on that or a hero power. And it could, what I've learned about Hearthstone, 1 damage or 1 health is a major thing in this game. It can make the difference between life and death. So,
countless times you see that 1 damage often just being decided in the game for lethal here. So yeah, this is getting close.
So Rag hits face, putting Hoej in a situation where he would be vulnerable to combo if he was facing a Druid. But he decides to...
This is actually lethal, yeah. Wow.
Oh yeah, well this is it. This is how threatening Druid can be with Hearthstone. You know, scaling that hand down and open up an early lethal.
I mean, if we look at, the flip side here, had SjoW gone for Emperor Taunt, would have just won this game, I think.
A bit greedy on the Rag play, wasn't afraid of combo, didn't respect the Hearthstone enough there, perhaps. So Hoej is actually going to take a game here. It's going to be tied at 1-1. The Druid is off the table, so no more annoying little bugs from spectator client, thankfully. So.
Oh yeah, got that out of the way. But it's obviously hard to tell, like, based on us having all of the information and SjoW having none of the information from his opponent. So it's always a tough call to make. I guess, there also could have been a scenario if there's not this crazy combo in Hoej's hand. It's just way better to go for the Rag for the value. You have a good chance to hit something as well. So yeah, I mean, Hoej is going to be taking it down to 1-1 now.
So Hoej now making this statement that he feels he's found his place in the Conquest format, and now he's challenging SjoW now 1-1. So it's anyone's game from here, and the players are currently queuing up their next deck. So they're probably trying to decide, trying to guess what their opponents are going to pick. A bit of mind games could come into this. One opponent might say, SjoW might think, he thinks I'm going to pick this, so I'll pick that instead. Or he might not. He might just roll the dice and just decide. So there's a lot of ways you can go about the Conquest format and how you pick your next deck.
So we're looking at Hunter versus Warrior here. SjoW is going to be playing the Patron, and Hoej is going to play in the mid Hunter here. This should be an interesting match. I think it's going to be really close. A lot of pros disagree on how this matchup goes. I think if the player is I guess, more heavily favored with Patron, then they feel Patron is favored, whereas the Hunter players prefer the Hunter. Just comes down to how the ladder players play versus the tournament players play here.
Although the idea of Conquest was to complement ladder play in a way, because ladder play has a lot of influence on World Championship points and qualifying for BlizzCon. So I think they tried to cater Conquest more to that kind of ladder style play where you get that one game and then that deck's off. But playing on ladder and playing in an event is still two very different situations and requires very different preparation. So it takes a lot of practice to be able to play in events like this, to be able to play in the format.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a lot of decks that you don't see on ladder. You're not going to see Handlock often on ladder in general, you know, because of the heavy Hunter presence, especially on EU at least. But now, yeah.
So the Haunted Creep's down here.
Yeah, looking at the start, yeah, I kind of like SjoW's position. There is the Lothep though, but I mean, Freezing Trap is not going to be generally strong. Owl this early on, Abusive Sergeant or the Weapon, it's just not going to be too good.
He doesn't like this Unstable Ghoul. It looks like he's going to go for the Owl here and be able to protect his Creeper just a little bit more. If he had decided to opt for the Glaive Zuka, his Creeper would have popped and he wouldn't have got much value out of it. So I guess that's his kind of reasoning behind the Owl this early on.
Oh yeah, this is going to be a bit awkward though for SjoW.
So he gets a good trade here. He loses the Owl, but the Owl's kind of done its job. And he's got a choice of a Trap here or a Glaive Zuka. It looks like he's going to take a more aggressive stance here. Probably force this Ghoul to take on the... oh no, probably trade the Weapon to the Ghoul. That's probably the best. Yeah, so that works out really well for him.
I think the Trap was never really an option. It was between Hero Power, I think, or Abusive Glaive Zuka. But I like the Glaive Zuka a lot more. It's more damage, more pressure. And with this fast Hunter, you just really have to look at finishing the game as soon as possible, because SjoW will win the late game no matter what here.
So moving forward here, Wolf Rider seems a bit weak, not really on curve. Hero Power, maybe Freezing Trap?
I think Freezing Trap is good, yeah.
So you force him to use this Death Spite just to clear out the 1/1s, not getting as much value. as he can from the Whirlwind effect. And then next turn he has a very safe low feb from the Death Spite, unless SjoW has anything to challenge that.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, goes for the freezing trap.
It was a tough call though to make, going for the freezing trap or not here. Looking at the Acolyte of Pain.
So he's going to draw some cards at least. Dig deeper into that deck to try and find some answers to this aggression from Hoej.
I think he's got to look at even one inner rage if he doesn't draw anything of value. Decides to save it. I think one inner rage would be fine there.
Loafer comes down, blocking out those inner rages. You'll be able to play one, but it's not really ideal. The Cruel Taskmaster is pretty cool. He's got an option to draw a card and buff that Acolyte.
Oh yeah, I think that's going to be the play.
I mean,
no miss if you don't get it, you get endless draws. Probably set up for a patron turn even if you get lucky.
it seems like he's not that interested in drawing any more cards. Maybe just pop the trap.
I mean,
here.
does he need 3 inner rage effects? I wouldn't think so. And in late game, inner rage is actually better than Cruel Taskmaster because it's,
0 mana.
Yeah, you can play it in a bigger combination. Wouldn't mind no mission enter first though, but I think you should go for the Cruel Taskmaster at this point.
Is there any value to armoring up just to kind of slow down this hunter though?
There is, but I think you would have procced the trap though.
It seems he wants him to have to trade into the 2/4. That must be his idea here. And he can set up and execute then. Maybe that's his idea here.
Thing is though, if you have, a Warsong patron turn, it's generally not that good to, I guess, have a freezing trap up. You can't really play all your patrons out then. Maybe his idea is to go for a big frothing turn, but again, he doesn't even have the frothing.
So Hoej develops a strong board here, really contesting this patron. SjoW's got some work to do here to start clearing up these minions, or just protect himself from a lot of damage coming next turn.
I think it's gotta be, starting with the proccing the trap.
So he decides to proc the trap with the Acolyte anyway, but the difference is there wasn't a mad scientist on board last turn, so now he wants to use this 2/4 to clear up the 2/2, which wasn't even possible last turn because obviously he wasn't played. So
there was some option, I guess, to slam the mad scientist before and then get rid of the trap. Because obviously if you have 2 freezing traps, you can't, have them both on the board at the same time, so the effect doesn't work then. Of course, also a chance that he is running a 3rd trap there. But again, SjoW needs to draw first though. He shouldn't really be going for this to start with. Draw first with the slam, then go for the execute.
Looks like he's running out of time though. Oh, Nat Pale comes down, a very slow card for a hunter. And it looks like he just clears up Nat Pale, sorry.
I think it's a good move, yeah.
He doesn't want to draw anymore.
Yeah, one extra card could do a lot for Hoej here.
And aggression continues from Hoej here. Draws an Abusive Sergeant, so he's got Quick Shot, Wolf Rider, Abusive. So perhaps a Wolf Rider Abusive hero power. The next turn you might be able to line up a Quick Shot for a draw. He wants to use his hero power as much as possible from this point because he's going to run out of resources eventually, and getting some mileage from a hero power is generally how Hunter wins. At this specific Hunter anyway at this point.
Oh yeah, there's no option to fight for the board. SjoW is going to draw into the patron sooner or later now. Like attacking into the that's really strong.
Yeah, he protects his Wolf Rider, protects his Abusive Sergeant. The No Mission Vendor would have had an option to trade into that and still be alive, and maybe trade into Wolf Rider the following turn. So he just wants to protect his board as much as possible.
The Warsong is so strong though here. Oof, endlessly strong. And go for the Stipple Ghoul as well with that. Like the hero power especially, that's so strong. I mean, there's some merit for being afraid of the owl, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not going to be that strong. The bow, though, okay, this is getting so close. Is he going to use the quick shot, though? And if he's going to use the quick shot first, I mean, go for the bow and then quick shot first, yeah. If he's going to quick shot face, I mean, there's no reason not to start with it. Why attack first?
Yeah, see what
if you talk like an owl, from the quick shot, then you want to go for the owl over attacking, for sure. But
5 health. Harrison Jones in SjoW's hand, but he's so low now he might feel he can't play. I mean, he could play Harrison and hero power, so that kind of nullifies the hero power from last turn, but he's still dangerously low. SjoW could find you could feel that Hoej has options in his hand to finish him off. It's a very scary time for SjoW.
He has to execute though to follow up, so the Hearthstone is going to be massive. You can draw into an Armor Smith, it's almost lights out here.
Doesn't find the Armor Smith.
He's going to go for the Fireworks here. SjoW realizes that it's going to come down to the few health. Now, if Hoej just goes for anything except direct damage, he's just going to win.
And Savannah Jaime not really playing into his favor here. Very slow card, and Knife Juggler again. A bit too slow here. He wants some more instant damage to kind of put pressure on, but couldn't SjoW take it this turn? Has he got the potential to?
I don't think quite yet. It's not far off. No, I don't think he has it quite yet. He can clear comfortably though, and yeah, hero power set that up.
So let's say he decides to go with the Warsong Commander patron turn. He's going to generate quite a few patrons from the hyenas, but he opens himself up to unleash the hounds.
He has to attack though then with the Harrison, because he won't have enough to both go for Warsong, patron, and hero power. He needs the hero power here for sure. There's no scenario where he doesn't go for hero power.
So he doesn't go for the patron here. I think this is probably pretty good because he wants to play, make sure he doesn't play into Unleash the Hounds to finish him off.
Yeah.
That would be a pretty devastating way to lose. He's going to get to squeeze in his hero power here as well, reducing Hoej's reach a little bit more.
But if he goes for the patron, he gets 4 damage to face with the 4-2. He gets also 3 patrons, and so he does 7 damage to face instead of 2. Instead of 3, I mean. Can keep the weapon. I feel like it's just overall better though for him. He draws nothing though in this case, so this is really becoming troublesome. That's what, 9, 15. Yeah, that's lethal, even without the whirlwind.
So SjoW fighting back on that 5 health, very low. He managed to outlast the Hunter here. Hoej had some kind of clunky draws towards the end, drawing the Savannah High-Mains, not when he needed them. He needed to pile on the aggression still with his draws, but unfortunately it wasn't meant to be. So SjoW goes up 2-1.
Well played to him, yeah. I mean, he only has the Warlock left now, the Handlock?
Yeah, the Handlock, yeah. And Hoej still has a Warlock of his own left. So have we seen that yet?
We haven't seen that yet, no. So he's got to win, with the, I believe it's just the Hunter and the Warlock. So everything is open now in this series, but SjoW is taking a bit of an edge here. Yeah,
he's got the lead. He only needs to get 1 game. Some good draws that go in his favor will let him go and face Kalento. Hoej still has a bit of a hill to climb, not exactly a mountain. He like you said, it is an open game, but because he has the 1 game lead, SjoW is just that little bit closer to securing a spot in the next
He's
round.
probably favored in the Hunter game at least. He should start with that, to keep the suspense up with the Warlock. I mean, if he starts with Warlock in game 4, he's suggesting there's going to be a mirror. But if he's going for the game 5, it's probably going to be a SjoW, I would have to think. Overall, I haven't seen Hoej play SjoW a lot. I think he's more likely to be playing Handlock. I think he's probably playing SjoW here.
Yeah, I think Hoej wants to play the deck that will net him the win as quickly as possible and as convincing as possible, because then he has the momentum going into the final game. He has a win behind his belt. Had a win earlier on, so he might use that confidence to push him forward. So that's another way you can look into it. There's a lot of ways you can approach how you line up your next decks. You can do that way, kind of get that confidence boost early, or you can kind of win with your hardest deck first and think, right, I've won with my hardest now. It's easy sailing from here. So it depends how he thinks about the game and how he feels about his lineup. So I've actually got the mulligans coming up for you now.
Yeah, Hoej is actually more of an online player. He seems to be playing a lot of qualifiers, and these players generally prefer SjoW over Handlock, whereas Handlock is more of a tournament deck, I feel. So, but yeah, we have Handlock against Hybrid Hunter here in game number 1. A decent hand for SjoW, so I'm liking his position. Not bad for Hoej either.
Unfortunately, we've had a bit of an issue with the client here. We're going to resolve that. That druid really made things awkward for us. Pesky druids.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to try and get you back into this game.
So we have a Lepinom on turn 1 from Hoej. followed by a Ancient Watcher on turn 2 by SjoW. So that's how things are looking. Just another Wolfrider top deck from Hoej. He's looking at Mad Scientist now for turn 2, it looks like.
He has 2 Wolf Riders in hand, so he has a very aggressive start.
But we have the both the Iron Beak and the Sun Fury now available for SjoW. Go for the Sun Fury, I like this a lot.
Setting up that wall, stopping the aggression of the Hunter. I mean, Handlock can't play the tapping game in this matchup. They need to just set up a line of defense as fast as possible and just hold off this Hunter until they can sustain with stuff like anti-Keel bots and Molten Giants.
Oh yeah, also has the option to silence the Mad Scientist next turn if he feels like going for that with a tap. But now a Shredder from Hoej may be looking at coining that out. Wouldn't mind a Glaive Suka though.
Yeah, Glaive Suka seems good. He can trade up then if he wants to, leaving at least one of his minions alive. The thing is, what would you value more here if you were going to Glaive Suka? What would you want the Lepmonome to go and keep the Scientist?
I think so, yeah. It's less vulnerable to Mortal Coil.
Nah, he gets the Scientist, unfortunately. He's going to get that trap, which is going to be good old freezing.
Yeah, it seems it's about the best minion to get from to get bounced by the freezing trap as a handlock. On the flip side now, he can't play the Owl for any real value. So tap is going to come down no matter what. Does he go for the Owl? I think probably should not go for the Owl.
You can just trade into his left. Well, he can't trade. The freeze trap will just bounce it back. If you play the Owl, at least it contests something. I mean, at least it can make sure the Haunted Creeper doesn't get any value.
Creeper, yeah. SjoW agrees. Now with Valadrake in hand, the Belcher. This is not too bad, yeah.
He's got some answers for the later game. That Belcher will definitely slow things down.
The main thing is that there's no kill command, there's no quickshot, there's no Owl from Hoej. And those are the cards you need at this point in the game. You can threaten, 7-8 damage, that's fine, but if you can't deal with a taunt upcoming, then you're into trouble. Especially as we know there's going to be a Molten Giant coming down at some point.
Yeah, he's sitting on one in his hand, and he got that Sun Fury bounced back to his hand, so he does have that to taunt up later. Probably not the best thing you want bounced in this matchup, but he had no choice with the line of play Hoej had to take. So he has a high main. High main didn't really do a lot for him last time. It kind of cost him the game almost, getting back-to-back high mains with that juggler. So here, it might have a bit more of an effect. He can, it's come a bit earlier.
It's gotta be now. Does he go for it or does he wait? It's a tough call. I think Hoej is in a bad position overall at this point. I mean, Wolfrider just doesn't seem good. But maybe you want to look at hero power, take the Shredder to face, and run the Wolfrider into the Valadrake.
All right, so we can use the Wolfrider here to clear up, and keeping the Warlock's health at bay, so the Molten Giants are not as threatening right now. They would cost 6 mana, 4 mana after a tap, but playing a Molten Giant at his own is just not that effective.
Yeah, it's gotta be a Belcher now, followed by a Savannah. It's gonna be strong for Hoej. But again, he needs that Owl, he needs that kill command, he needs that quick shot to have a chance of finishing off this game. With that Shadow Flame in hand, it's gonna be wide open now for SjoW to take this unfavored matchup.
Hyman comes down, does enchant the Belcher with a minion. He can't clear it, so there's not much point. We do have another Belcher available to show if he wants to part with the board, but the anti-Keel bot, that's a great draw for him.
Yeah, it's not useful quite yet. I think it's gonna be Dr. Boom now.
But it's nice to have ready for when you need it.
Oh yeah, it's crucial. I think an important thing now is the Shadow Flame. People don't think of that as a good anti-Hunter card because it comes a bit later in the game, but against mid-Hunter it's so strong.
So Knife Juggler comes out here with an Unleash. He's got the option to throw some knives around. The only issue is these bombs could take their toll. But developing the Hounds are nice targets for the bombs instead of, say, taking out your Savannah High main.
Yeah, this is strong.
All right, here we go. 4 Hounds, 4 knives. Let's see where they go. 1 to Boom.
It's about the best target to get, I guess.
1 to Belcher. Oh, that's not too bad. And the Boombot's going to go flying after this last knife. And takes the Haunted Creeper for 1. Wow, that's good.
pretty unlucky overall for Hoej. That's not what he wanted to hit, but getting the boom bust 1 is obviously really decent.
So now he can either goes for it now or he starts trading.
I think he has to trade, honestly, but...
So he's going for it. It's all or nothing now, and SjoW is sitting on that heal bot, and he's sitting on the Molten Giant.
I feel though that Shadow Flame may need to come down at some point. What about just Molten Giant, Shadow Flame, and taunting up the Dr. Boom?
On 6 health, that's pretty scary. Double kill command's a scary possibility there.
Still, you can't really play around double kill command, I feel, anyway. If you want to leave the Savannah up, I feel like Owl is more of a threat, but...
Well, the Molten Giant is going to most certainly come down. What he does after will probably determine. He could heal bot. He's got Belcher. He's got Shadow Flame, like you said. So he's got a lot of interesting options here. He's hovering over the Sun Fury.
He was looking at, I think, maybe Shadow Flame and the Sun Fury. If he had hit the Savannah for 3 damage, depending on how it went. If he kills the Juggler, he doesn't need to. He can just go for the heal bot comfortably, but... Yeah, not bad.
Leaves that, I mean, at 1 health.
Yeah, I actually think this is stronger, yeah. Well played to SjoW, figuring that out. Yeah, really well played.
Yeah, he's got 2 strong taunts sitting there. It's going to be really hard for Hoej to push through. He's got the Wolf Rider and the High Main. He's got a bow. Is your health really a resource here as Hunter at this point in the game? Where you got giants flying around. You've seen Ragnaros as well in the previous game.
I feel it's fair to assess that SjoW probably has at least 3 damage from hand. A Dark Bomb, a Hellfire, you know, even a Jiraxxus, something like that. So killing at least one of them without using the bow is it, I think. He's got to play everything here, I feel like.
Put some more pressure on the health with Leponome, but we do see the heal bot. Jiraxxus would be an interesting draw here. Oh, he does have the Dart Bomb, so he does have most of his burst there.
Oh yeah.
Heal bot comes down.
Is he going to go for the Hellfire? Okay.
So he pushes the board of 1 damage off from clearing a Dr. Boom, so he's going to need something else. Leok would be nice.
Hellfire is going to be close, but not quite there yet. Yeah. Gonna put him down to what is 5? With a boa. Can SjoW does have the Belcher though. This is getting so close. Look, SjoW is still in the driver's seat as there's been no Owl so far, or a kill command so far.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough for SjoW if Hoej goes a kill command off the top next turn. Oh, another Dart Bomb.
This is lethal, yeah. Well played. SjoW takes the 3-1.
So, as you said, SjoW has some excellent line of play there. Hoej also showing his skills in the Conquest. You know, he feels he's become more comfortable with the format since his victories via game, but I wouldn't say he has much more work to do. I think he's on point. He's definitely making his way into Conquest format, and it's become comfortable for him.
I think this is probably the highest level of play we've seen so far today. You know, I think they both played well. I guess Hoej played good, but I think SjoW played great in this series. They both had good lineups, but I think SjoW had a slightly better lineup. You know, so it just came down to very minor things, and SjoW takes it 3-1. Is going to face Colento now in the last match of the day. So
we're going to have Patron, a Hybrid, and Handlock versus Patron, Hybrid, and Midlock, right?
Patron, Hybrid, yeah, Hybrid Hunter and Midlock, yeah. Or
so
I guess Sue even you could call it, or Demon Sue. Whatever you want to call it.
Whatever name people call it these days. So we're going to have that game coming up for you very shortly. If you'd like to find more information about this event, be sure to check out WCA -europe.com. You can go to Twitter as well and to comment about the event or the matches at WCA Europe. Or if you have any other kind of tweets to go out, use hashtag WCA 2015. We'll be back very shortly with Colento versus SjoW. I think this is going to be a fantastic match to end the day, so don't go anywhere.